Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So I guess Marvel card is not getting connected to, right?
Why not? I mean, it's anything wrong? It should be there. They said they installed it.
Internally, I heard there's some issue with the card again, so they're looking into it. So there's some issue with the SPI port, is what I heard.
Okay.
On the second version of the card. Hey, Rahul.
Hey, hi, Paul. Yeah,
Hey, good
that's what
morning.
I'm hearing. Hey, Laura. Hey.
Hi. Hey, Rahul, you're in India, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we should sync offline about available times.
Yeah, I'm awake for at least 2 hours, so
For 2 hours.
otherwise tomorrow.
All right, great.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead and chat. Don't let me slow you down right now because it sounded like you were talking about something.
Yeah, we're just updating on the Marvel card. So there's some issue again with the MCU. So I mean connection to the MCU. So the team is trying to figure out if there's a workaround, but if not, maybe there'll be another card coming. So
Okay.
there's some issue with the Octeon SPI cannot be updated in the design. So that is causing some problem. So the team is looking if the eMMC update from the MCU could work. So that's the message that I got yesterday.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, we pretty much ran into a roadblock. So with the BMC itself. So the card seems to have come up and we were able to get the interfaces received addresses, but that's really as far as we got.
So the SSH to the card is also not working. I mean, MCU is not getting connected, but even the
SSH to the
CPU.
BMC is not working. It's correct.
Okay.
We can the BMC gets an IP address and we can ping that IP address, but it does not get a we can't SSH to it.
Right.
And I don't know if it's something as simple as enabling root for SSH or something like that, but yeah, it doesn't accept an SSH connection.
Yeah, maybe I'll post the updates on the channel as and when I get it so that everybody's up to date.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
And yeah, other than that, I just wanted to check. So if I think there was some discussion regarding the F5 requirements and we have some OPI requirements as well. So if we can, yeah, maybe Laura, we can take it up later. But yeah, just the OPI requirements for Redfish and SZTP. I mean, SZ provisioning through SZTP provisioning to Redfish is the requirement, right? So just wanted to discuss this from the OPI point of view. What will be the requirements of the card?
Was that a question?
Yeah. I don't know. Boris, do you want to answer that? Do you have?
Yeah. So from the SZTP, this is zero touch. Redfish is not zero touch. So we want to support both methods. So from SZTP perspective, the requirement of the card is to have the SZTP agent running from the factory. So it can get the IP address through the DHCP or MDNS. We want to support like not to limit. So SZTP running either on the ARM cores or on the BMC cores, we don't really care. Getting the IP address through the DHCP, for example, according to the spec, using the special options for the SZTP URL. Then having, that's number one. Number two, in TPM-like device, HCM or TPM, we need to have a IDEV ID provisioned with MTLS certificates so we can establish trust between the Bootstrap server and the device itself. So this is the only two things we require on the SZTP side. So far, questions make sense?
Yeah, so that's the standard SZTP process, right? So I'm just wondering how Redfish that what's the
Redfish
redfish
is-
provisioning instruction? How is that related to
Redfish is the alternative option if customer don't want to use secure zero-touch provisioning, because that requires them to deploy additional infrastructure. They need somewhere to have to put the Bootstrap server and the web server and DHCP server. If they don't want to do any of these, Redfish is the standard today for managing net, compute infrastructure for servers.
Mhm.
So what we want to do is, in addition to the HTTP, completely unrelated parallel effort, we want to expose Redfish interfaces so we can do the basic Redfish schema and the basic provisioning actions using the Redfish server as well, which includes a server reboot, reset to factory, provisioning operating system, getting information about CPU and memory and all the components of the card and everything else. So that is two alternative methods which are most popular nowadays in the data centers. So this is what we want to support in completely unrelated and parallel efforts.
Got it.
Make sense?
Yep, makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
Paul, you have anything to add?
No, I think that's correct. Yeah, one or the other can be used for initial provisioning. Redfish does have the advantage of like you said, being able to do telemetry and pull some other metrics and things from the card as it's up and running, and so it has a longer life cycle in the DPU life cycle than SCTP does. SCTP is really just right at the beginning.
Yeah. And I have to admit that Rahul, you are not the first one that asked me exactly the same question. So I think that our feedback should be that we need to clear the OPI message in this space, either on the website or training materials or presentations or whatever. But if somebody can help me, like where we bring it to TSC or to outreach or to whatever committee it is, but definitely we need to clarify this message. Absolutely.
Right.
This is definitely not the first time people asking me the same question.
Right. So are we, from the OPI point of view, we are supporting both Redfish
Yes.
provisioning as well as HTTP, right? I think that's
Yes.
the, right now it's only HTTP mentioned, so I think maybe we can add Redfish provisioning as well.
Yes.
Yes. I know the Intel card just recently implemented a limited version of Redfish, or at least it's limited from what I've been able to see. I think the Bluefield uses Redfish, doesn't it?
Correct.
So
And to
and
test all
none of
this
them by
and-
default use SZTP. So
correct. Redfish is the only workable, deployable, supportable method. And in order to test it and to test compatibility, as you know, I developed the Ansible OPI DPU playbooks. So all of those books are using Redfish. So once Intel now has some limited, as Paul said, support for Redfish, and Marvell is going to add support for Redfish, the idea is to use this playbook and this only playbook. So all the DP vendors will be compliant to the same Redfish schema and will be tested by the same test infrastructure. So we don't need to develop different playbooks and different test schemas. It will all be tested and implemented by the same, which will bring standardization and ease of use by OPI.
Okay. Is there anything that we want to track of this conversation in our actual task list, or is this
Just to take a feedback, just to take a feedback on clarifying the message.
Okay.
Or website presentations, whatever. We need to review what we share currently and what we need to change to make it clear that we support both Redfish and SZTP.
Okay, hold on. Let's get into the actual work then. So give me a second. share my desktop. Okay, let's talk. What do we want to add here? Oh, shoot, I need to sign in. There we go. All right, what do we want to add? What do you want to call it? What do we want to say?
Uh,
I don't think it's our task. What I would do is just send a message to the outreach committee maybe, or
Okay,
TSC, just that.
yeah, I think it's probably a TSC discussion,
Okay.
but coming with a proposal that we make clear the role of Redfish and SZTP within as alternative provisioning mechanisms for DPUs, IPUs.
okay, so a proposal to clarify Redfish and SCTP as alternative.
Yes.
I'm sorry, is it orchestrating or is it automating? I apologize.
Provisioning.
Provisioning.
Provisioning, thank you. I've been watching the Olympics and not getting enough sleep. And I hope you guys are all watching the Olympics too, because they're fun. All right, so
Some
the
of them, yes.
discussion is that we need to, so tomorrow, are we going to talk about this tomorrow, Paul, or when should we be talking about this?
I will see if, let me see if I can. So Boris, are you around later today? If I wrote up a real quick 2 or 3 paragraph proposal, could you review it and then I'll present it to the TSC tomorrow?
Yeah, if you shoot me a Slack message, I
Okay.
have it on my phone as well. So even if I'm not on my PC, I can
Got it.
review it.
Okay. Do we want to go through the issue list now, or is there something else that we need to make sure we cover?
Issue list is good.
Okay. Glad to hear it, Boris. All right. Oh, I just lost my window. All right. Network design. That's done. Why is that? Why do I still have done's and in progress in my to-do list? Does anybody know why this is happening? My filter is not catching these. Or is it a problem with Git?
That's interesting.
Never worked with this
Okay.
project.
Boris, you're the one that showed me how to do this.
Yeah, but I always said don't do tabs, do a single tab with all issues, and then we can just filter according to the status. But
I did not know that you said that.
yeah,
So
right. You can go to all issues and then just sort it according to the status.
So I don't want to look at done.
Exactly. Filter by or sort also good.
All right, so create a reservation system. I still have not even thought about this. Occasionally we talk about
canonical BMAS.
right. So what do we need to actually do here? What do I need to do here? What's my next step on this? Do we care about this still?
Yes, we do. We
Yeah.
need to bring canonical BMAS. So in order to do so, either Mersha said we are waiting for the release and it didn't happen. Yes, happened. But from my perspective, we just need to reach out to canonical and said we are doing this thing. Come and help us.
Okay, so who do I talk to at Canonical? Does anybody know?
I sent a couple of names previously to Paul and Laura, to you guys.
And I
Yeah.
missed them. Okay,
It was a couple of months ago. So
let me see if I can find an email from you, Boris. Sorry about that.
no worries, no worries. We can also try the official channels of canonical support. There is some guys, Paul said some canonical guys joined OPI recently, so we can fetch them from mailing list as well. So either way is good, but it would be the best if canonical comes, installs the, thanks, Paul.
Sorry about that. I don't know what that link is. That's supposed to be someone's name.
Did you send something in chat?
I tried. I don't know what it was. So I'm gonna delete it from chat
Okay.
and try and send. I wanted to copy the link.
Oh, did you send it over the project for us? Or did you send it to our direct email?
I don't remember. I think
It was
it's-
months ago. Why
and-
don't you remember for
it was
us?
well ago.
Sorry. Trying to bring levity to the call. So let's just say Laura and Paul to reach out to Canonical. Using contact names from Boris. Does that sound about right, Paul?
Yep.
I can reach out to them if you don't. Just send me their names and I will start the ball. I'll get the ball rolling and I'll CC Boris. Okay.
Sounds good.
And let's mention also why we're reaching out, right? What we need them to
Oh.
do. My idea would be for them to come in and install MES in our lab for free. If not for free, we need to ask money from TSC and the board. So we can manage all the servers. We have right now 6, 7 servers, 2 switches, and all the other equipments. So we'd like them to commit so we can manage our lab using canonical demos.
That's the name I have of someone from Canonical.
Yeah.
Put it in chat.
Got it. Thank you. I'll start that email.
That person has joined the OPI Slack at some point.
Okay, so I will see if I can find them. Benjamin Reisman.
Mm.
Okay. I've got Ben Wong, Ben Walker. I don't see Ben Reisman.
Maybe no, he joined the lists. So sorry about that. The email list, not
Got it. I'll send him an email from my F5 address. See if that works. And I will CC you, Paul and Boris. He might be like, this might go straight to junk mail, so we'll see. Okay, I'll do that after we finish the call.
Okay.
All right. Laura reaching out. Okay, that's fine. And I'm gonna actually move this to in progress. So that, okay, so identify high priority use cases. We've kind of been doing that, haven't we?
yeah, I think that's a lot in team are doing that in the use case group. They've got next week, they have a professor from UC San Diego, I think, coming to present a new use case.
I'll move it to done. Well, that was interesting. All right, so configure the big IP as a router from public to private networks. Have you done this, Mr. Pindell?
No. I can create VIPs for all those things, but I have not done that and need to figure out what we want to do there.
All right, merge duplicated IP definitions in many places.
Not done.
Not done. Has it started?
Not yet.
Okay. All right, so the IPsec demo on Mount Evans I know is in progress. Is there anything that you guys want to add status-wise to this, or is it just kind of hanging right now?
Yeah, I think it's
That's
just where it is.
Okay, the EVPN demo on Mount Evans is probably the same.
I
Okay,
believe so.
yeah, so define lab demos for road shows. I actually want to talk about this a little bit. You've done a significant amount of this work, Paul, and I know that you have some decks.
Right, and we've, at the one summit, we had a collection of 5, 6 demos, I think,
mhm,
that we were able to show.
okay. Do we want to add anything to this? Do we want to keep this sort of living as in progress state as our demos change or evolve or become? What do you guys think?
My comment, Paul, is we don't have a code for these demos anywhere. It's still hidden for me. I cannot access any of this. So my ask was several times is, can we expose this? Record it, what we did, actually expose the code, post it somewhere. Because if I have a code, if I have explanation, I can implement it, the automation. So with one-click button, we can run it in our labs. I don't have access to none of those scripts.
Okay. I don't think any of them are scripts. They're videos of demos that have been done in the past.
Yeah,
That's
but I
my
saw in those videos, I saw people just running script, whether it's, you know, from the text file, from the shell, from Python. So we need those scripts, right? Otherwise, it's very difficult to repeat any of those demos, right? We cannot just come totally from scratch. Or if somebody comes and asks for a demo, we cannot come from scratch or send them video, or if they want a live demo. We just need to have the scripts to be able to run it again and again. Also, every time vendor releases a new version, we want to rerun the demo and see that everything is still working, or give rejects to the vendor that stuff is not working.
okay.
Okay. So then the action item here is for us to expose the demos to the community, correct?
Yep, especially
so.
scripts and code, yeah.
So what do you need to do, Paul?
Well, scripts would have to be written.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
Okay, so maybe we kind of talk about this one. It seems like this is not as easy as I'm making it. Am I correct?
correct.
Okay.
Correct. It's not just simply pointing to existing demos that have been recorded. It's automating so that those demos could be run somewhere else. And in my case, that would equate to rebuilding those demos, documenting the steps, and then using something like maybe Ansible to figure out how to automate that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a larger effort than just pointing to
A thing.
something.
Gotcha.
But what we can do is we can combine it with effort of automation, right? If we need to rerun some of this, I can help automate this with inside the lab, and then not just we like re-record or recreate the demo, but we also, by the end of this, we'll have one-click button of running it inside our lab as well. So we can kill two birds with one stone.
Do we have the interns yet for that are supposed to be doing this Ansible work?
Yeah, starting tomorrow, I guess.
Okay, good.
Or next week, but yeah.
Do we have any orientation or something for intern? Or when we are starting, let me know. I can also help.
Yeah, you have an invite, Rahul, in your email. On the you are in charge of orientations for all the interns.
Okay, let me check.
I was kidding, but yeah, we should.
Okay. We talked about this Ansible playbook for lifecycle management. That's sort of part of this, correct? Or no, am I wrong?
It's similar. But I think this is what the interns are going to be working on, is this building out better Ansible playbooks for the entire lab.
Okay,
And onboarding 2 new cards, right? Intel that now has the redfish, so we need to onboard and verify and test this versus Intel card, and we Marvell once they have some redfish. The same. So it's not just developing the playbook, but also testing with real hardware.
okay. Manual instructions for card bring up to create automation workflows.
For Intel, I have some of that. I've got up through. Yeah, I've got some of that. I can. Oh, I have some of that written, but again, I need Intel to tell me I can put it in an OPI repo.
Okay, and then what about Marvell and Pensando? Pensando we haven't been able to bring up, so it doesn't matter, right?
Any update on the Marvell bring up card? Rahul?
We were kind of chatting
There's-
about that at the beginning of the meeting.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, there's some hardware issue the team is looking into. So I mean they're looking at a workaround, but most probably there'll be another version of the card. So it's a hardware issue.
But do we have 2 RJ45, one for the ARM and one for BMC, or only a single one? Is one of them working, both of them not working, or can you have one?
I think there is only one, and that is not working.
Okay.
Yeah, RJ45 for the BMC, it does not work. It gets an IP address, you can ping it, but it doesn't accept an SSH connection.
Yeah.
And in our lab, Scott has been able to get the QSFP to come up and get an IP address from DHCP. But that's as far as he's gone with it.
Okay.
Guys, I have to step away for a second. I apologize.
Yeah, so maybe I'll update on the channel when I hear more of the internal team.
That would be great.
Sorry, guys. Let's finish up. I need to drop pretty soon. I apologize. All right, so the lab automations we talked about, or we talked about the other Ansible playbook information.
We
And-
didn't talk about lab automations. Lab automation, I manage all the issues in the lab project. I posted the link.
Oh,
here.
that's right. You've got a full checklist in here about
Yeah.
what needs to happen.
A lot of work.
Okay. Is there anything in here that hasn't been tracked that's from an action item perspective that hasn't been switched to done?
No, I'm tracking it pretty closely. Whatever I do, I finish it.
I'm glad that you're organized. You're doing nice work for us.
Yeah, Boris, one update we discussed in the last call is that there were 2 different versions of the ILO, right, that we saw. So I think that are required because the CPUs are one is from x86, one is from ARM. So
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that's why the
Open,
versions.
yeah, open a ticket and let's track it and let's fix it. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. New firmware for the firmware for the Marvell card. We kind of talked about that. We did get the new Marvell card, so let's move that to done. So nice to move stuff to done, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of done stuff. Look at how much stuff we've done, you guys, or you guys have done, and I've tracked. Okay, hold on. EVPN demo, let's see. Ansel play with new firmware for my left. Next summit to attend. We've got that kind of on track, right?
Yeah, OCP is the next summit we're going to attend. We're trying to determine where and how we're going to attend that. We had thought we were going to get a booth from be part of the Linux Foundation booth. But it doesn't look like there's enough room for us in that booth. I don't know why. That's just the message I got yesterday. So we went back to ARM and asked them if they would again provide us space in that booth, and they're looking into it. I've also asked Intel, who is supposed to be there and have a booth, if they want to host a monitor for OPI. And I don't know yet. So I've asked both ARM and Intel for space in their booths, and we'll see what happens.
The IPsec demo and the EVPN demo on the BF3. Both still in progress.
Believe so. I think we talked about those just a minute ago.
Okay, sorry. Automating the IPsec demo.
Don't know.
Looks like we lost Marcia too. All right, so monitoring all lab resources in Grafana. Boris.
Yeah, it's need to be, like, it's in progress. We need those interns to pick it up.
Okay,
I'm not very familiar with the Grafana dashboard, so
got it.
I need a lot of help here. Yeah.
So it sounds like we need to do a little bit more coordination on the interns in general for when they start.
Absolutely, I need help. Like I was alone in this process of vetting all those and settling interviews and evaluating the work. So definitely, I would need much more help on coordination and distributing the load of money.
Why don't you and I talk offline, Boris? Can help you pull it together, or at least partner with you to some degree to get this moving.
Okay.
All right, so I will find time for the two of us. Hold on a second.
I have to drop all as well. Thank you.
Okay. Paul or Rahul, do you guys have anything else before our 11 a.m.?
I don't think so.
Okay, then I'm gonna drop because I need to go pick up my husband. He got in a bicycle accident, so I need to go get him to work.
Oh.
I
Okay,
hope he's okay.
yeah, that's why I was a little distracted on the call today. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Thanks, bye-bye.